What's up, man?
I missed you.
I missed you.
But we're back.
Oh, we're back and alive.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Thank you.
Hopefully you're listening.
Hello, everybody.
Gotta harmonize. I like the vocal warm-up. Maybe that's what we should do more often. We should sing our warm-ups in.
Yeah, I think so too.
Bust out some theater pieces.
I don't know, man.
Baptista.
I get a little nervous. Oh,
Ooh, throwing it back.
Baptista.
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 Lloyd had a beautiful theater career. It was glorious. Bless his heart.
Like many things in my life, it was small, but
Whoa. Take it in.
Anyways, how we doing out there, everyone? Hello, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Pacific Experience Podcast.
Pacific Experience. The people that downloaded it, I want to talk to you a little bit. Like, who is interested in this?
Yeah, really. Reach out to us. Actually, a quick way you can do that is at PacXpodcast.com. That's the website. Check us out there, PacXpodcast.com. That's where you can get everything as quickly as possible, along with reaching out to us, which I actually really want to know, too. Hit us up on Instagram, Austin.
Yes, please DM the PacX Pod on the Insta. I want to know your questions. I'd like to see photos, not of your genitalia. You can, though. I'll give you honest advice about it, whether it's
He's
great
actually
or not.
saying that he does.
Yeah. I have a great rating system, and I will just be brutally honest with you if you need to shape some stuff up. Yeah. I like the childish ways. Here we are,
He's
back
blushing.
in it. Yeah. Little breath. But, yeah. So exciting news. There's been exciting news here in the Northwest, dealing with some environmental stuff, because that's what we do. That's where we are.
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot of exciting shit going on in the Northwest, and I'm glad to have you back. We actually went a week. I have to acknowledge this. We went a week without an episode. Some shit went down. You know what? Honestly, the way it goes is
Life.
Austin and I have life. That's exactly what I was going to say. We have life, and we love doing this. And, yeah. So, you know what? Here we fucking are. We're still committed, and we're rocking and rolling because we still have some rocking experiences from the P and W. And plus, we want to talk about what the fuck is going on out there because there is actually a fuck ton of shit going on out there.
Yep.
What's up, Austin?
Well, I mean, there's been a lot going on in world news. I wanted to take time to find today what was going on here in Washington. There's two things that really catch my eye, because here we are in a state that has a lot of landscape in terms of mountains, oceans, forests. We have a rainforest, volcanoes. But first things first, orcas are pretty prominent here in Washington. There was an orca who had been sick. They categorized the orcas as they track them with like numbers and letters. So it's called J50.
Right.
Basically, this orca had been sick, and I think we previously talked about the guy that stole the plane on a podcast before, flew it around, but when he was flying the plane, he said he wanted to go to see the orca, and the orca we were talking about was...
was that the same one that was protesting?
The orca was protesting?
With the dead calf?
No, that was the whole thing. Is that it's
that one had 3 numbers in its name. It was like J something.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it was the same one. It very well could be, but
maybe.
I don't know the manner of orcas. Didn't read up on it, but basically this orca had its dead calf on its back and was swimming for like 3 weeks. It carried around its dead baby.
One.
Okay. Well, no. I don't know the number. If this is the same orca they shot, so basically my story is that they had to shoot antibiotics into this orca because it's super skinny. It's got illnesses, and it went missing from its pod. And all those things stem from a multitude of pollution, climate change. It's real. The thinning of salmon. Salmon are much smaller.
Wait, didn't you say last episode that climate change is not real?
No, it was jokingly. It was in a very sarcastic...
Dude, I believed you.
Oh, no. It was a very sarcastic tone. Absolutely so sarcastic. God. they call me the Boy Scout. You really think I'd be a
Holy
fucking Boy
shit.
Scout and be like, yeah,
No.
climate change, not real.
Man, I can cancel the plans to murder you now.
Yeah,
Fuck.
thank you.
That cost me a lot of money.
Thank you.
I would
Yeah,
look out
hopefully-
tonight. Don't go home tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. I'll stay in the harbor. Go sleep at the saloon.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so
Okay.
basically this short story, because I have two of them, this orca had been having problems eating. It was malnourished, and so they were giving it antibiotics. You can't really give wild orcas antibiotics. It's not like you going into a zoo. These things are not trained. So the interesting thing was seeing how they were to administer it, and they basically used an air rifle to shoot, like an injection needle into it.
Yeah.
But it's very it's got some issues with it, of course. Needle can't wobble, but it can't be too thick to get stuck in the skin and cause issues and infections. Or if you shoot it with too little of force, it doesn't inject. And so it's something they were talking about. They've never really done it before, but orcas are thinning because the food source is not there. They can't hunt seals. I mean, all the stuff where seasons coming earlier too does not help. Ice shelves melting, forcing. I mean, there's so much going on in the animal world where things are getting shifted around, where animals are
Right.
moving,
And what we know is now no longer fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's weird, but people that hunt, they notice it, that game shifts dramatically now just due to wildfires or vegetation that grows much different, and so predators move much differently now. And that's what's odd, is that it's happening so rapidly. So the change, the evolutionary change for these animals, is coming much quicker as opposed to it taking 100 years. So that was one thing I
Right.
read that interested me, and we went to Harbor Heights Elementary, or I did.
Yeah.
Our mascot was the Orca.
Right.
Orca.
Yeah. My kid went there for a year or two.
Dude, it's
I fucking love orcas, man. I've always
They're
have.
great.
I talked about them on
They're
that solo
crazy.
episode, man. I talked about orcas for quite some time.
God, dude, orcas are sexy predators and
They are.
super interesting and smart. The second thing
They're
I read
extremely
too,
smart,
that
man. And they're
actually
emotional. They're actually more emotional than humans. Can you dude, I mean, if you think about that, I mean, some could say the same thing about a dog, or maybe other animals, but humans are really emotional. Every single thing we do is based off of emotion. Their brain, the capacity and the percentage for emotion is larger and is used more in their brain than us. And it also shows by proof with their behaviors and their habits. It's insane, dude, how emotional they are. And with that comes, of course, big sum of intelligence.
Oh yeah, and I think is the biggest thing is orcas and dolphins, but these animals that show sort of understanding. It's not problem solving is, I think, one part of intelligence, and that's a big thing with monkeys and gorillas. That's why they're oh, what's going on here? Because they learn how to figure things out. Octopus, animals that know how to do that. We call it human because we're human, and that's what it's based off of. But it's so interesting, especially when things understand emotions. Joe Rogan had a podcast episode that he did with a trainer. We talk about him a lot. His podcast is great. Please check it out because Joe Rogan just has a plethora and wide variety of things that he talks about, gets down on. He's very neutral. He has opinions, but he never tries to convince or debate. He's there to talk openly.
I mean, he will debate too. I think he'll debate he will not debate. He will call you out if you're making a ridiculous claim. Just if you're saying something that's
you get
hard
checked.
For most people,
As you should be checked.
for most people to swallow.
Yeah.
Then he usually says what the majority of people listening are thinking in their head and what question that you would ask as a listener, and he'll lay that down for you.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
But he has
a lot of good people on there too.
He had this orca trainer, or somebody that worked at a zoo that worked with orcas, and he would say that too, that they had attitudes and emotions. And there's a story that he was recounting where he jumped into the pool, but the orca was acting weird. And the thing is, though, is that these animals are huge; they'll eat you. They kill great white sharks. They're just one of the top.
They're the most dominant creatures of the sea, and
they're
the sea is
spectacular.
most of this planet. It's something
and we know
that we've
little
discovered.
about it.
Yeah, only little about. Yeah.
But so he's talking about this orca and how he got in this pool when he thought it was agitated or didn't want to be there, and it totally let him know that, hey, I'm not okay with this. He says when he jumped in, I wouldn't give my recount 100%. I watched it pretty previously, recently, so you should go check it out.
Was this on the documentary Blackfish?
I don't think so.
Have you seen that?
I have. I think it's good. I think it's also very opinionated, which is fine. Like, it's obviously supposed to be biased, but I think it is a serious thing to look at. Like, we have an attraction, like a tourist attraction, to keep wild animals in captivity, just so people can see them. But at the same time, it like we're basically watching mental health issues happen for animals. And I mean, like, Harambe, probably the most recent one that people know about. Kid.
Yeah.
And what I actually, call me cynical, but I actually enjoy, there's a lot of backlash on the mom, which I think it should have happened. The kid jumped into a gorilla pit. I don't care what the hell you're doing. The fact that you weren't attentive enough to watch your child in a zoo to hop into a pit with an animal, I think that was totally, I think it was totally okay for people to go after her and be like, hey, what the fuck were you doing? But so what ended up happening is this gorilla, this huge giant silverback gorilla, did what they do. He saw something that looked similar to their young. Yeah, and he was just guarding it. And I know people will agree, but yeah, dude, he got up, he bore his chest, he growled at people.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is, like, so the kid's sitting down there, and he like pulls the kid back. There was one point where like he started dragging the kid, but I think people were like, oh, that was an aggressive manner, that's why they shot him. It's like, no, this gorilla's in an enclosure, and it thinks it has something similar to his young, and it's trying to protect it.
He was being aggressive towards the protection of the kid.
Yeah.
That was all, like, get the fuck out of the
and
way.
He honestly,
going to hurt you. That's why it came off aggressive.
Oh, dude, it was a crazy video to watch, because it's a human in a wild animal, and yet this thing just thinks it's its own. And there's stories like that in the wild. But I think it's coming back to Blackfish.
Captivity too.
Yeah, I think it's really fucked up. I'm big into game hunting. I'm not saying like we should never have animals, kept up, and this sort of segues into my short second story, but I don't think wild animals should ever be put in captivity.
I agree.
The fact that we
very
do
strongly.
it for literally, it's tourism.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool, because these are living things. I mean, can you imagine if it was vice versa, and animals had humans in captivity, and they're just like, oh yeah, look at these creatures, like how you would act and behave?
I think majority of people agree with what you and I are saying too, man, because it seemed like when we were at the zoo, almost every single person that's looking into the cages of the animals, their response to these animals aren't, oh, amazing, look at this creature. It's more, how sad. Poor thing. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, dude, it's fucking sad.
It's like, why do we do it still? That's what's interesting. It's
yeah.
Like, why do we still continue to do this with, knowledge that it's not good?
Well, somebody's got to be making money somewhere, or at least, and what's put in defense is jobs. It provides jobs. Dude, I'm so sick of hearing I'm so sick of people using the excuse, the need for jobs as an excuse to maintain some system or program that is harming something or someone somewhere. You know what I mean? And so they use the excuse that it provides jobs when, if you really want to get deep into the hippie side of it, the whole idea of money being the system that keeps us, slaves, blah, 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 blah. Jobs is the beginning start of it, man.
And I think... I'm
not saying don't work and shit. I work my fucking ass off, and you do too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's not my point, but you get what I'm saying.
And we've talked about this a little bit. It just comes down to adaptation. People need to learn.
Adaptation is key.
We're starting a musical tonight. Dude, world's changing, and you gotta learn to survive. And when you're being like, "Oh no, but this provides jobs," yeah. If it didn't exist and there was other companies to pop up, people, unless you're going to be like, yeah, this is the only thing I ever thought I would ever do and I'm never going to find another job, then cool. You're just going to end up homeless. That's what happens.
It's almost like saying that the reason why we need to have toll booths is in order to provide the toll booth workers jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. God, dude, how can people be so single-soul-minded?
Oh, you know what? I don't blame you people. I don't blame you at all. It's not your fault. It's your parents' fault.
Yeah, it's your upbringing. Whoever raised you is terrible at it.
Yeah.
But secondarily, you've been watching this hurricane.
Not as
Building?
much as I want to. I keep seeing it keeps popping up in this this search of mine.
I know it might not be. This might be the first
I actually read quite an article on it
category
last night.
6 hurricane. And what's funny, so there's a great photo. I mean, I wouldn't say great photo because it's devastating for us. Mother Nature's beautiful, dude. She's fucking sexy and aggressive.
You heard it, Mother Nature. That's how we get up here in the PNW.
Let me feel your ferns, baby. But no, so there's this picture
You can hit
from
me up on the Timber app.
Yes. Please find me Douglas Firm 669 because 69 was already taken. I'm glad. Yeah, if you still want to invest in that, I have a GoFundMe page for it. You can be a founding member. God damn, that was such a good idea.
Douglas Firm.
Yeah, dude. I always have great good ones. That's not a sentence, but I have great fucking usernames, just fake ones that I could use for this app. That's what I think about at work. But anyways, International Space Station, Hurricane, I think Florence is what it's being called.
Yeah, Florence.
It's huge.
Huge.
Honestly, you should pull up the photo just to look at the International Space Station. But this thing, it's beautiful. It's scary too. Category 6. It's going towards North Carolina, I say like West Virginia, but it's going towards Virginia. And this is something now that we're starting to see where hurricanes rapidly increase in size over the past
Holy shit,
5
dude.
years.
It's insane looking. That's crazy. Hey, we will post it on the PacX Instagram.
Dude, how these things happen.
Oh, but this photo's by NASA. I don't fucking believe it. Gosh, gee, damn thing that NASA posts
Gotta put
on
my
the
own
damn
satellite in
internet
space.
these days. I'll tell you what.
But
That's fat looking, man. That looks dangerous as fuck. That looks scary.
yeah,
I mean,
dude.
Honestly, I've never been in, or even seen in person, I guess, a
Like a hurricane?
A fucking hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just now it seems that natural disasters are starting to get, and we call them natural disasters, which is a little funny because it's like, yeah, we're here and it's not good for what happens to us, but it's like growing pains of the earth. Maybe that's what will that make you feel better? They happen in bigger volume, and they are just like increasing very rapidly. A lot of earthquakes that happen, especially like Japan, it's on a huge fault line. They have a lot of earthquakes.
Yeah, man.
They've been having a
in
lot
our
of
lifetime. They've had a fuck ton of insane natural disasters happen, dude.
earthquakes and tsunamis. That's something that they're actually, when they predict that we will have on the like Cascadian, and I don't want to say the Pacific. There's another fault line that runs along like from Canada down towards Mexico.
Okay.
They're predicting it's like overdue for a major earthquake by hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And they talk about the tsunami wave that happens, but natural disasters just happening in such more force, and I think that's always the contributing factor. Would be like people going, "Oh, the Earth is going through stages." Yeah. I mean, it could be, but at the same time, I do think we have an implication on these things. It's wild, and it's sad. I hope the people involved, I mean, take the precautions. The people, I don't know the statistic, but there's quite a few people when the huge hurricane recently hit Florida. People sticking it out. Pretty sure most of them died because
that's terrible,
it's
man.
Dead serious. Yeah, it's like flooding. You have no food or water for weeks. Nobody's gonna find you. I work at a brewery.
You're just dude. What's got to be going on at that point? You're just fucking sitting somewhere or on top of a house avoiding water.
Dude, it's apocalyptic. I work at Narrows Brewing.
I'm paranoid of it, dude. I have a backup fucking
I mean, like, you need to protect yourself. There was an owner at Narrows Brewing, and then there was a gentleman who plays music. His name is Padre Paul. I know him here in Tacoma, just through his music. He's a good guy. He went to go help in Florida, help in Texas when this hurricane happened.
Yeah.
And he's a military veteran, but him and some other veterans met down in there, and it was not him, but in their posse when they were helping out these basically like, flooded neighborhoods, no electricity, no nothing. One of their buddies got shot.
Did you say shot or
shot?
Shot. He got
like in
shot.
a combat zone. He got shot.
Holy fuck! Why? How? Who?
Just people looting. People. I
Really?
mean, seriously, like they don't.
So
you can't have law.
Even that to the extent of apocalyptic to
Yeah.
where there is no law.
Exactly.
No,
that's exactly it. I mean, it's the movie The Purge. It's not similar because people aren't like out there trying to murder everybody else, but people are very much so like, I have guns, I have weapons, I'm going to take things. I mean, it's crazy.
Here's a fucking TV that needs to be rescued out of this. Yeah.
So, please take safety precautions. It's always good to be prepared. It's always good to just like
be prepared.
PacX Podcast Musical brought to you by Wendell.
Hello.
But yep. That's what's happening with the Earth. It's coming for us. I love it.
It's scary, man. It's fucking scary, especially being on the Pacific coast. Because you're right, dude. I've heard of that shit. We've talked about it before, about being on that fault line. And it's not just that, dude. The evidence is all around us. Looking at all the earthquakes that do happen on the West Coast, the spots popping up on the graph, dude.
More and more frequent.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you can't be afraid of it. You just gotta learn how to deal with it. That's what it comes down to.
Well, yeah, and dealing with it is getting up, putting on your fucking big boy pants, and trotting along your damn day like something hot shit.
What don't you do is lace up your boots, son. Put on your game face. All right.
What else?
Other things.
What else is going on out there in the world? Wait, actually, I have I found a list on something here. Got
a
something
list.
Wait, one thing I do know
Shopping.
actually that is going on up here in the Pacific Northwest and in Puget Sound is schools. The school system, Puyallup and Tacoma School District is on strike. Right now, the date is 9/11. Of course, I forgot.
Never forget.
The day is not over yet. I feel like it's the next day.
Yeah, you've been
Anyways,
busy, man. Continue.
So, what the fuck was I saying? Anyways,
the strike going on with the teachers.
Yes, the strike that's going on with the teachers. So they're going on strike. That district in particular, Puyallup and Tacoma school teachers, because they're not getting paid enough. It's an issue that's been going on for a long time. That a lot of
Since
people
we were in high school.
Yes, since we were in high school. And so basically the surrounding districts, they all achieved anywhere from 8 to the highest being, I believe, was 20% pay increase. So every school district got a pay increase from a minimum being 8%. And so, except for this school district. So they're on strike. Therefore, school was supposed to start on that Wednesday, a week ago?
Yeah.
And it did not. Instead, these teachers are out on the street with signs, along with children are out there, students are out there, all sorts of faculty members.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going on. Personally, my opinion, fuck yeah, dude, they should be going on strike. They should get paid. They're not just teachers. They're not just taking care of the they're not just looking out and it's supposed to be educating the future of this nation, but they're also fucking babysitters. And they are babysitting our fucking kids from when they're fucking young, elementary school, going there, to when they're teenagers, confused about this world that adults are 10 times more confused about, but we are supposed to teach them the ways of it. Right now, education is so fucking important, the education system. Dude, I did not fucking care in high school. At all. And that was a big fucking mistake, dude. I mean,
a lot of us, I think.
A lot of us. I think a lot of people would, definitely everyone who knows me would agree with me about that one, and I know a lot of people who did the same. But it shouldn't be approached in such a careless manner, at least by the government. And the reason, I just want to pump out the reason why there is an issue to pay with the first place. The logic part is because they're funded. These schools... Okay, the teacher's pay is by the school district, right? The school board. The school board gets most of its funding through taxes. Not just taxes, but majority of the type of tax they get is on sales property tax. So property tax. Therefore, a school is more funded with more property tax. Okay, so if you see a at least in Washington State.
Interesting.
So the fatter the school district, the better it looks, the more property tax. I'm looking at the correlation between my hometown now, and I'm looking at the education system. I don't know if more property taxes necessarily by volume of houses going up, if that's an indication of more property tax. Common knowledge tells me that would be.
Yeah.
But or maybe if it's like a gross profit, recap of something. I don't fucking know. But that's where it's coming from. It's obviously not being distributed correctly, and I think that at least the ones who are in charge of this decide, who have written it, that the school districts are funded this way. The fact that it's not performing and hasn't been working, and it's from our fucking tax money, it's fucked up, and I think it needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
More than someone's fucking opinion about a fucking shoe or some shit.
I think especially now where, the things going on in politics today, yeah.
Rant over.
People are very, very upset realizing how many agencies that are, I would say government funded, state funded, but like you are voting on these people to do their job well. And then when you finally get the transparency where it's like, not only do you not do it well, you do it really poorly and you do it in a selfish manner. And then you come out every year.
Selfish.
And that, of course, part of that is on us. We have to be involved. And I will say for sure, I remember when we were in high school and they would have strikes. It was for weeks at a time. But what was interesting is like when they said it would get resolved, it never really did. And these teachers don't want to be without a job. I think that's the biggest thing. It's not like the school district is paying them still while they're striking. They're doing this, sacrificing their living wage. You're literally gambling,
exactly.
Putting it out there.
They obviously have a care for teaching, or
so
at least
it's
not they're good at.
It's not, especially when you're fighting for something just to be fair. It's not for you to make a huge amount of money. So that's what's really, I think, the sad part about it is it's like, does this come down to selfish individuals in the institution?
That's
Absolutely.
my point, man.
Remember
does it come down to that?
Remember we had that, it was our senior year, but we got 2 new principals. Remember that assistant principal? He was an alcoholic. He got, he wrecked his car like 2 or 3 times.
Yes, strong.
Fox Island. And you know what they did? And he was I wouldn't say apprehended, but police showed up at the scene. He had all these things happen to him. He was going through like a divorce. They moved him from our high school up into like the board of the Peninsula School District. It's not even
really?
It's not like they even gave him paid leave.
So what? He got fucking promoted?
Yeah, they basically shifted him, but they shifted him up. And it's like, this is a guy that not only can't handle his own life.
You're fucking kidding me.
I kid you not, because
this guy
my
publicly
grandma
gets a fucking DUI.
Everybody knows
Nancy
Nancy in Gig Harbor.
Yeah.
Nancy volunteered a lot at Gig Harbor High School, and that's what happened to him. So isn't that one? It just shows like there's brokenness in the system. Like any other job, in my job, if I had a DUI, I'd be fired from my job immediately, and I would never work at a brewery ever again.
Yeah.
Period. End of discussion. So it's interesting to see. I was reading a little bit about it. I feel bad because I have a couple of friends that are teachers. Somebody we work with, Allison Falconer, randomly saw her at this wedding in Virginia that I went to a couple weeks ago. But she's I want to say a special education teacher, works with kids that have like mental disabilities and problems, which that's really intensive. That's a lot of work. And the fact that you're fighting for just a fair wage and they're out here, striking.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Sacrificing.
These people are. It's
Why
not that.
can't
It's
it
not
just
hard
fucking
work.
be a norm?
It's not just hard work that they're doing. It's the responsibility that is put on them, and the variety and unpredictability that they must have.
I think we've all
in
had
their
teachers
job.
that we see as role models.
Fuck yeah, man.
I mean, your parents,
Fuck yeah.
your parents, teach you and parent you. Teachers also do that, and it's really interesting. Mr. Brown, for sure.
For sure. That's
Yeah.
immediately who I was thinking
Yeah,
of, man.
man.
Mr. Brown? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Brown, goddamn, wherever you are. If you listen to PacX podcast, Mr. Brown, we appreciate what you did. You
Big
were
time.
very
You know who
wise,
you are.
and not only that, but you really understood I think the kids in grade and age you were teaching. So you made us understand and connected, and it didn't feel like a teacher just fucking doing a job. And if you got thrown into the wood chipper along with all the other kids that you were just not caring about, so be it.
Yeah.
That's a brutal way to put it, but
Yeah.
It
He
happens.
also, he wasn't, he had the perfect amount of tact. He had great tact. He was not afraid to tell any kid that they were wrong. And he did a really good job at doing that. And when he made sure that when you learned through self-discovery versus something being told
Absolutely.
to you. He would ask you, he taught by asking questions.
yeah.
And that is
yeah.
so fucking
That's
skilled.
really interesting.
It's a fucking method of training and teaching that I admire so hard, and it works so well, and I believe it's the most effective. It's self-discovery.
Yep. And that's how education should be.
Fuck
But we
yeah.
force feed people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
we
teachers,
are.
Washington, we support you and we hope that you do get the better wages you deserve. It should not be that way.
Absolutely. But I do think that it's time for that break. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is PacX episode 19.
19.
19.
The LS, the fellas, to your realist. We're here, getting weird.
We're getting super weird here at the PacX podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Pacific Experience podcast. Yeah. You are with us, and we are with you. I'm your host, Lloyd Smith.
Co-host, Austin. Not going to give my last name because I don't feel like getting my face skinned and put on a lampshade.
Oh, I'm already there.
Sucks for you, man.
If anyone wants anything to
Sucks
do with
for
me,
you.
they've already got it. Yeah. But this is episode 19.
Thank you.
Yep.
We talk about it all the time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Check us out on the website.
PacX Podcast.
.com.
Yeah, if you don't know it's .com by now, I don't know anybody that uses like .biz or . Yeah, I mean, other than governmental sites that have three different name.
.org, .gov.
It's a scam. It's
.edu.
It's just gonna send a bunch of dirty little sex toys. They have like sex toys now that have
Whoa. That got
buttholes.
weird real quick.
Exactly.
I told Austin during the break, I was like, hey, man, when we get back, we got to get weird.
I thought it was when I was
Dove in
anything else.
immediately.
Yeah, butthole sex toys. It's okay. We're not going to talk about it. It doesn't need to be talked about. Google it.
Oh, my God. I don't know. I don't want any fucking virus to come on my damn computer now there.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, weird stuff. What's weird?
Yeah,
what's real?
Yeah,
what's not?
what is weird? I don't know, man. What is weird? I got a couple categories. You can check
Roll them off.
check me out on Flipboard.
It's like Alex Trebek in Jeopardy. Give them to me, Chief.
Okay, so first of all, the categories that we can dive into and look. And some of these we've talked about before. And so here are the categories. We have cons, piracy.
Ooh.
Get it?
I catch it.
MIC, MIC, for Military Industrial Complex.
Ooh.
YOY.
Y-O-Y.
YOY.
So Y-O-Y?
Yeah.
Y-O-Y, did this happen?
Yes.
Oh.
A note on history.
I like that. I dig into history.
Lincolnship.
If Lincoln ruled the world.
Yes, Lincolnship. It's a style of leadership versus the
Oh.
opposite of dictatorship.
I almost thought people were building ships shaped like Lincoln.
Nope, Lincolnship. The opposite of dictatorship. Style of leadership. Millennial exploration.
Millennial exploration.
Yes.
Don't know what that means.
Either do I.
It means like you just sound like you searched the web.
I don't know about that, Mr. Dow. America's Caesar.
Like leaders that were similar, or are we
no,
talking about Trump?
it's mainly about Trump.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Comparing him to Caesar.
Oh, that's bad.
Even though Caesar is a fucking badass.
Caesar fucked
This
Started
not
out there.
that there's anything wrong with that.
No. Similar to Trump. Trump does not fuck dudes.
Or does he?
I was.
Anyways, we're not going to go there.
Trump, tweet us. Let us know. Do you fuck dudes?
Yeah. Hit us up.
I want to know.
The other category, I got 2 more. This matters today.
Okay.
Yeah. You're like, the eye roll you just gave me. Okay. That's
Tight.
And then the last one is tips for trips and nips.
Oh.
Austin, what category are we diving into?
Dealer's choice. All of them get me sexually aroused. So I just give me a wild card, Chief. Just give it to me.
A wild card?
Give it to me, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Give it to me.
Let's see.
I know a lot about tricks for your nips and tips.
Well, since you mentioned it, let's go to tips for trips and nips. Tips for trips and nips. Okay. Here, we're going to learn about 12 things that you learn to...
12? Does it have to be 12? Can you just break it down into 4?
Yeah, I don't know about that, man.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Okay, first things first. Here's what you all need to know in order to know. You have to try to guess what the objective is here.
Okay.
So, here's the first thing. You need... confidence must come first.
Confidence must come first.
I swear, if I find out I'm reading some fucking, GQ article or some shit...
How to improve your tongue game in bed in 12 easy steps. Confidence must come first. Thanks, Johnny Depp.
Oh, let's not even fucking address that one. Okay. You're living the life because confidence. You're living the.
You were gonna.
You're living the life that you've created. Well, no fucking shit.
Oh, this is. I feel. I don't ever diss these because I like motivational things, but I feel like this is gonna be one of those things where it's just like, you need to remember you are the captain of your own ship, master of your own fate, and it's like, yeah.
Yep.
So I'll shortcut it. Live the life you want.
Being busy does not equal being productive.
Yeah.
I like
you
that
can
one.
be busy.
That's the first one I like.
If it's not productive, but you're just spending a bunch of time doing a bunch of random things. Yeah, that is good. It's relatable.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. You're only as good as those you associate with.
False.
False. Wrong. It's wrong. Wrong. Yeah. We both agree with that one. False. So far, let's see where we're at with the first one. Whatever.
I mean, that was something
going.
briefly we talked about earlier. But yeah, it all comes down to you and your attitude. You can be surrounded by great progressive people and still be the loser of the group.
Well, that wasn't very motivating.
He's on a fast one. Squash your negative self-talk.
Do it.
Basically, I will translate that for you. Stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Avoid asking what if. No. Always ask what if. Maybe they're addressing this in a negative way.
I think what if just
I'm like, question everything. What do you think it means?
Well, I think to say the opposite, be set on something you want to do. Taking a job, but you still being like, what if this doesn't work out, and you already are trying to make like some sort of secondary plan, which is good.
Yeah.
It's fine, but I think it's that, God damn, it's not fear. Don't worry.
What?
It'll come to me. It's, what it reminds me, taking a short business class, there was this model that was talking about the investment of time in terms of will you be successful or not. And the professor was basically just saying that people think about this constantly, but unless you believe you're going to be successful for investing your time, you can always sit there and be like, well, what if this doesn't work out and I've just wasted 4 years? So I think
dude.
You
Absolutely.
just being set on like, hey, if I'm going to do this, try it to the fullest, and if it doesn't work out, understand that you just need to fucking leave it then.
Yeah, and be adaptive. As we mentioned earlier, adaptivity is so important It is so important. It's in fact actually the key to everything, because guess what? If you don't adapt, you don't survive. That's why many creatures who are no longer here anymore that failed to adapt are not here. Adaptation is the key to survival.
Oh yeah.
Period. In any case, from living in the wild to to a new job. To relationships, socially speaking. Anywho, the next one is schedule exercise and sleep.
Yes. Yes.
Are you fucking yawning on us?
Yeah, I am. Hear me roar. Yeah,
somebody's getting tired.
exercise and sleep are important. I think they said a new study came out. 6 to schedule
After
your sleep.
Eating a bag of chips,
Yeah,
like
I'm
yawning.
gonna go home and make a bunch of taquitos and eat them.
You ever had the ones that get really stuffed on the inside with the extra cheese if you just melt it on a little bit in a microwave before you eat it?
Stuffed. Yeah, sleep is important. Exercise is great. Reason it's great. Releases chemicals in your brain. Do it.
Yeah. Man, we gotta move forward here.
Fuck these 12 things.
Seek out small victories. Okay, shut the fuck up. Don't say yes unless you really want to.
But what if you really just like saying no, but really you want it?
Austin plays hard to get.
Yeah.
You're one of those guys.
I still want you to stick it in. I'm just gonna be.
Don't seek perfection. Shut the hell up. No, you should. You should always seek perfection. Focus on solutions.
Who wrote this?
I don't know.
Okay, I have problems with
The
them.
last one, number 12, is forgive yourself. I don't forgive you for this article. You
Waste.
worthless, no good, dirty, rotten, mother effing son of a bitch, stupid journalist that's out there writing a bunch of muck.
Waste of my life.
Well, I guess I was the one that chose to read it.
I think you've lost privilege.
The article is 12 lessons you learn or regret forever.
Oh. Still doesn't make any sense, man. It's also vague. What are we? We don't fucking know. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
No, that's rude. I'm not going to be negative.
Yeah.
I'm just getting wild-styled.
Let's see what else we have in here. Oh, speaking of, it's one of your favorite guys.
Here we go. Shaffitz.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
No.
But it's in deep state, and that shit gets real heavy.
Yeah, it does.
But what I like about Jason Chaffetz, I forget where.
I know.
He's like the chairman. He's chairman of the Congressional Court. Look it up. Look his name up. Use the internet. Anyways, he's great. Him and Trey Gowdy have been really known to, regardless of party, to really grill and hold people to standards of what is written in the law, and when it's not followed, they make you feel like a fucking fool.
Yes, they do. And it's not just a fool. A fool saying that is being nice.
Fool
What
of a
I've seen,
took.
Dude, that fucking room where all that shit happens, and at least where it's recorded, that place is a fucking arena, dude. A battle arena. A verbal fucking debate at the highest level of fucking law and order and unfair
and
fucking
history.
History, dude, there's so much, dude. It's literally fucking like, it's like two fucking gangs talking it out through battle.
Yep.
Fucking crazy,
There could
man.
be serious consequences.
Sticking to they're
Serious
playing a game,
consequences.
sticking to the rule book. That's this fat book that was made and that's been altered throughout the years, and oh my gosh, it's fucking nuts, man. It's kind of like the game that they play on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you know, the
Charlie McDennis.
So yes, Charlie
Electric
McDennis.
Boogaloo?
Yes, absolutely. Where the rules are just, they make no fucking sense at all, but you just roll with it, dude.
Yep.
So the other morning I wake up. So speaking of Pacific Northwest and some journeys, I took a little drive to Bend, Oregon.
Thank you. Bend, Oregon.
Yeah. It's beautiful, man. But before that, I woke up that morning and the first two notifications that I had on my phone were Tesla is down 5%.
Yeah.
And
After being on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Right. And of course, I choose Podbean as my source of listening to podcasts, and my Podbean notification says Joe Rogan, JRE, the Joe Rogan Experience, new episode, Elon Musk. So those two things, or those two notifications are on my phone side by side.
You had to listen to it.
So right there, I was like, uh-oh. I was like, what was said on the podcast? That's immediately. I know not to worry about the fucking market right there. I have a little bit of money with it. And I'm not worrying because I'm like, that's obviously an emotional dive down.
Yeah.
That's not a logical reason for the stock to go down. That's an emotional response. So I was like, okay, because something was just said. I was like, unless if like a business thing was announced, which he wouldn't do on a fucking podcast with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So I go on and I listen to it, and I was like, wait, before I listen to this, I need to wait. And that's when I got on my drive. I'm driving in the middle of fucking Oregon. It's so beautiful, dude. I'm driving at 4 a.m. The sun is coming up. I posted it on the Instagram.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Absolutely beautiful,
it's
man.
It's gorgeous.
I fucking, smoke a little bit, start hitting the road. I'm out. I'm by myself, and I listen to the podcast. And I'm a huge fan of Elon Musk to begin with, and of course of Joe Rogan. More of a fan of Elon Musk, especially he caught my attention. Of course with Tesla, like a lot of people back in the day. But I fucking listened to an audiobook about him.
What's it called?
I don't know, man. Elon Musk.
All right.
Literally, like
the Musk of Musk.
The only
the
guy,
story
the
of
only
Elon
guy
Musk.
to get close enough to Elon to be able to write an effective and accurate book about him. Elon's only gonna let one guy get that close, and it's the guy. So,
that's interesting.
Oh yeah, it's the first 5 chapters is the guy writing how hard it was to get close enough to Elon to have a conversation with him. And for him to be able to open up, and then he started realizing that he played almost like a counselor role to him, in helping him do interviews before he was really big. And he would also, when he would be interviewed, the truth would come out, that he couldn't say to, while he's working, man. And he's also
running a company that's evolutionizing.
Absolutely, man.
Cars.
Elon Musk is the fucking Tesla.
Travel, everything.
He is Tesla reincarnated, dude. If anything, I mean his dream for free energy around the world. I mean, it's so fucking motivating, dude. You look into his story and to see his rebelliousness. Is that even a fucking word? The way that he rebels against the system that is suppressing the idea of free energy, man. This guy has such a big dream for humanity to be happy. And when he's been asked about it, his response is, when he thinks of the future, he is sad. And he wants to think of the future and be happy. Yeah. That's his response. And that's like such a logical, fucking physicist, engineer, fucking genius to respond that way. But the same traits about this guy are so fucking similar to Tesla. Nikola Tesla, who had the fucking tower and who was
that the inspiration for the name?
Energy. Oh, absolutely, yeah. For the car that provides free energy, that way. Anyways, man, I could fucking keep going on about Tesla.
Yeah, but so you saw him on
Elon.
You saw him on the podcast, or you listened to it?
Oh yeah, I listened to the podcast, and what caused the stock to go down obviously was him smoking, which I think is retarded. Those people who quit, especially the executives, I mean, that's totally fine. Good for you. If you were raised in a way to where that is something that is frowned upon, and if maybe, you avoided that to get to where you were with Elon or whatever, I mean.
I didn't realize that, executives quit because...
2 executives.
Quit because he smoked marijuana?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, ironically, the stock went up 5% the next day. I mean, fuck the stock. That doesn't matter. But, dude, Elon he doesn't care, man. And he has to act that way. Nikola Tesla didn't care either, dude. Nikola Tesla borrowed money from J.P. Morgan in the early 1900s. When he borrowed this money, he was telling him that he was going to make some type of communications tower, right? And, oh yeah, that's fine. J.P. Morgan's fine. Lend him the money. Instead, right in the middle of fucking New York, dude, he built a fucking energy tower. A tower to absorb, again, we still don't know how he does it to this day. This tower that brings in energy is enough to power so much it's insane. Nikola Tesla would lay out light bulbs for miles and miles and miles in strips leading away from this fucking tower, one that he tried building before. And dude, when a lightning storm happened, it lit all of them up. That's when he caught an idea. This guy learned how to receive free energy from we don't know what the fuck,
the
from
atmosphere.
the universe.
Jeez.
You know? And provide it, and not only provide it, but channel it and be able to control it. And that's incredible. His plan, this tower, his plan was to have like just, I don't know, man, a couple dozen around the world, and the entire world would be powered for free. And that was his idea. And so he built one of them. Of course, J.P. Morgan, that shit was taken down. It got destroyed. You know, and then the story of him getting thrown out of the fucking his hotel room in the FBI. That they say it's FBI. I don't know what the FBI would be doing. I would believe it'd be like CIA or something, but maybe not. I don't know. I think he passed away before the CIA was
was formed.
Actually, yeah. So the FBI came and confiscated the papers, all of his work that was in a safe in that room. And the blueprints that have been looked at, though, for what this guy was designing fucking spaceships that he never told anyone. He was very secretive about his work. People thought he was crazy.
Man.
People thought he was crazy because he was always thinking of so many inventions and ways to advance humanity. And where it happened was he believed aliens. He believed aliens, and he believed that he was communicated to telepathically. He stated that it was printed in a paper. I can't provide the source to you right now. If someone wants to challenge me on it, I will go down. I will find the fucking source. I'll show you. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the source is full of shit. Who knows? Fake news is everywhere now. Maybe this was fake back then. I don't fucking know. But at least that's what it says. It's just so mind-blowing, dude, to think how much different the world would have been if Nikola Tesla accomplished his fucking mission, dude. The media bashed on him. Everyone bashed on him because he was a threat to the entire system of profit. You know what I mean? To everyone's profit. He was a threat. And so any weakness that he showed or anything that the media could use to discredit him, such as a belief
make him
in aliens,
seem like an outlier or odd.
Yes. And so he did not win the Nobel Prize. There's so many things that he was skipped out on that other scientists won later on that he had already done. That they had won the award for that he'd already done. The same thing has been happening to Elon, man. The only thing that Elon has, like, at least from what I know about, that he's done as far as advancing on something that's, would call unjust. I mean, he took Tesla. He had PayPal taken from him, but he actually took Tesla.
Dang.
I can't.
He made PayPal?
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. He helped. Dude, he designed Zip 2, part of the beginning search engine for the internet.
Good God, dude.
He had to deal with Pong. His fame has been suppressed, dude. It has been up until he finally took fucking Tesla and like used his own money with SpaceX. Failed 3 launches in a row. I've read and watched on YouTube all first 4 launches of SpaceX, and it's literally, dude, a movie will be made one day about it. I guarantee it. It's insane. The first 3 failed. He's using his own money for this shit, dude. The money that was sold, that he got for selling PayPal. He sold PayPal, and with that money, he started SpaceX. No greed.
Jesus.
He had nowhere to live. He slept in the office, paid employees out of his fucking pocket to build these fucking rockets. He traveled to Russia to try to, because to where the parts were purchased from Russia, that's where NASA got them and where they were built. And so he went to Russia, and when he approached them, he gave them an offer, and they laughed in his face. They were smoking cigars, they were drinking fucking, some fucking scotch, and so they laughed at him. They didn't even give him anything back. And so very angrily, he and by the way, this trip that he went on, this guy who wrote this book, who on him was with him on this trip.
Oh, holy cow!
Yes. So when he came back, Elon on the way back, Elon on the plane, Elon literally looks at him and just says something, grabs a book and starts doodling, and literally designed it himself. What these Russians were charging millions and millions and millions of dollars to
Good
obtain.
God.
He designed one himself, and that's what's used to this day, a reusable rocket by SpaceX, to where you can launch one repetitively every day. To where before, this shit costed millions of dollars. It can only be used once, and then it's tossed into space and is fucking junk. This shit is
Jesus,
reusable, cost half the cost, and not only just to build, but also to provide the energy for it to be used. So, what Elon has done is absolutely fucking amazing, dude. In his first 3 launches, they failed. The fourth one, I'm wrong. It was the first 2. The first 2 failed, or the first 3, and the fourth one or the third one? I can't remember. But so anyways, the third launch, when they made it, dude, you watch the video because you watch the video and it barely makes it, dude. Right as it's breaking the atmosphere, it kind of like gives out a little bit, this rocket, and then gets through and just finally fucking makes it. And you can hear people screaming with clapper and shit. If he didn't make this, if he did make this. That means NASA and tons of Lockheed Martin and Boeing would these companies would then buy parts from Elon. They would pay Elon to do missions for them. Basically, he's in business if he can make this successful. He hasn't made it successful yet, and that's what he's been trying. Well, he doesn't have enough money now. This is the last that he can afford on this last launch. So if this doesn't work, he's under. The guy is. All of his money he used for PayPal is gone. He's fucking nothing at that point.
Good God.
And guess what? The second it breaks through the atmosphere, that created the fame for Elon Musk where he is today. Fucking
damn,
took off,
what a
dude.
story.
It's
Holy
so
moly.
motivating. It's so cool.
I'm going to have to read up on Elon more.
So anyone who wants to talk shit on Elon, like I get it. He is he owns all these companies, and he went and smoked weed on the show. So effing what? Look at the guy. The guy is pushing for solar houses. He's pushing for the Hyperloop. The Hyperloop is a big tunnel that goes underground that can take you from Seattle to Portland in 30 minutes. It's going to remove traffic. It's going to completely remove the idea of traffic. He made Tesla. He has Tesla. He's pushing the Tesla car to provide free energy, no emissions, a way to travel. This guy wants to improve humanity, and not only improve humanity. He is so far advanced to thinking on how we can colonize Mars. Now, this guy is not only planning for benefits of humanity, but he's planning for benefits of humanity that he will not live to see. And that's what's important right now, is us being able to... That's why life is so shitty, is because no one fixes anything that they won't see the benefit of in their lifetime. And shit takes longer than a lifetime for it to either evolve or to be fixed or to be removed.
It'd be noticeable.
Yeah, absolutely. And we get distracted with what's going on in the media and everything else, and that's when they operate
Maybe that's the
in
whole
their
point,
ways.
man.
That's the point. That's how they operate, and it's how they fucking tell our children, raise our children. They distract us to be on our fucking phones and shit while our kids are watching the TV, being prepped for, what's to come, what's the agenda
Just
now in the
cannon fodder.
United States.
Yeah.
Oh. Boy, I tell you what.
Boy, I tell you what, back in my day.
Did you listen to the podcast with
I listened to a
Musk?
bit of it.
Did you?
He's very interesting. The way that his brain works is interesting. When him and
Yeah.
Joe were talking, I saw it popped up on my YouTube account. It was just like the 8-minute snippet of where Elon Musk discusses how his brain functions and works to him. I did not hear that in the podcast, and that's something I want to see, because people like that too. I mean, not only is he smart and he makes correct moves where he gains lots of money, this is somebody that is looking at the world, wanting to preserve it, not just for his sake. Honestly, I think he's smart enough to know, probably not for his sake. So it brings also the questions like, all of this, and we live in a world where we're sort of taught, like, if you're top dog, stay on top. And here you are, and you're literally chopping off the knees, trying to level the playing field. You're trying to make
People have
things
tried to take
so
him down so many times.
easy for somebody to go up, and that's awesome. That's crazy, because maybe that's the whole point of how we should be getting smarter and quicker, faster, stronger, is having the competition raised, as opposed to just creating a bunch of dumb people so that you can just fight against dumb people.
Yeah.
Punch him right in the face. No.
It's all about self-defense. If you don't want to take pride in the self-defense system, you can just get the fuck out.
You think I go home to Starla every night dressed like Peter Pan over here? Napoleon
Starlight Night.
God damn it. That's how I feel. Yeah, but he's a really interesting person. I have not heard a whole lot about Elon Musk, so that's a crazy backstory.
Yeah, man.
Makes me want to learn more about him.
Look into him,
I mean,
man.
fuck, what do we say about it? I'm glad he smoked weed with Joe Rogan.
Fuck
Who would
dude.
you want to smoke pot with? Joe Rogan.
And plus, Joe Rogan's thinking the same thing, dude. You can tell, especially. I mean, of course, I bet you anything, Joe Rogan's mindset before, during, and after was, fuck yeah, I'm gonna smoke weed with Elon fucking Musk.
It's not even a question. It's happening.
That's fucking Elon Musk, dude. He will go down in history as an Einstein.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, man. He's definitely at that equivalent of knowledge. I'm really excited to see what he does.
What comes out of like Tesla and what he does in the future.
A lot of people rely on him, and he's also known to overtalk stuff. I mean, he does great to get you excited, to say things to the public that get them excited. But he at least he is someone that if he can do the grunt's work. He's a commander that knows how to do the grunt's work, and he does it very, very, very well. He's that coach that can actually throw, catch, and kick the football better than any of the players. So I hear. Yeah.
But now we're gonna, talk about fracking coal next time.
Yeah.
That's something that we can definitely argue about for a minute.
I could
about why we
holler
don't
about
like it.
Coal is it's important because it provides jobs,
Right.
and you need a job
The
to
trick
be able
is
to.
you guys to have one
live.
person hold the coal, the other person's got to brush the coal. That's how you get clean coal. When you got bad coal, we got dirty coal. It's because it's not brushed right. We just need more brushers and more holders.
Well, I think, Mister, you got it all figured out.
Well,
Man, why the fuck have we been going to this southern accent shit lately?
it's a default for us. We start running out of shit to talk about or think about. We're just like, let's talk in accents.
Yeah.
I like it though.
Yeah.
Me too.
Wow. Well, you know what, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. Next week, we'll be hitting you up for episode 20.
Yes.
Episode 20 is going to be
Episode
really special.
420.
Episode 20 is going to be really
Episode
special.
420.
And I'm not just saying that. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. It's going to be actually very special. There is some more. You'll see. Just tune in. There's going to be more stuff coming.
Please do.
We've been growing as a podcast, and it's awesome. We've been getting better equipment. We've been learning more on podcasting itself, on promoting, along with recording and the technical side of it. So again, we're also recruiting anyone. Thank you to the people that have reached out. If anyone is interested and wants to come talk or talk over the phone or even help promote or knows web designing, anything, or if you have some knowledge and you want to share it with us, please let us know. Go to the website, PacXpodcast.com. Send us an email, civicexperience@gmail.com. Again, experience is spelled with just the X. If you already don't know, but thank you.
Good, because we'll have another podcast coming out next week to remind you.
Every single week. Besides, I'm starting to think, hey, I think some of the folks out there that are listening, they listened last time, they listened this time, they're going to listen next time. So you know who we are, and you know what we're doing, and we're with you, and you're with us, and thank you
Yes.
for tuning in.
Thank you. We'll see you next week. I'm excited.